Buyani matonga, buyani matonga. Buyani matonga, buyani matonga. Hlalele nezintabeni, buyani matonga. Buyani matonga, buyani matonga. Nihlalele nezintabeni, buyani matonga. Buyani matonga, buyani matonga. Nihlalele nezintabeni, buyani matonga. Hlupheka nikhona, sihlupheka nikhona. Nihlalele nezintabeni, buyani matonga. Buyani matonga, buyani matonga. Nihlalele nezintabeni, buyani matonga, buyani matonga. Oh, buyani matonga, nihlalele nezintabeni, buyani matonga. Sihlupheka nini buyani matonga. Sihlupheka nini. It doesn't cost you anything to tap the screen. Keep tapping. That way this goes up in the algorithm and the rest of the family can come and join us. Grand Rising, Umoya. It says Umoya. Hi, Thokoza Gogo, Thokoza Ormakhosi, Ninjani. Please tap the screen. Let's get up as many people as possible. Your family, I'm struggling, but I'll explain why I'm struggling just now. I almost didn't make it here, but I am here. As Thokoze it here, but I am here. As Thokozen. So let me just greet properly and then let's get right into it. This one is going to be short and sweet. Thokoza, Jocelyn, Thokoza. Thank you, my love. Siyaphila, somebody saying, how are you? Siyaphila means we are fine. I and my entourage are well. Thokozeni Kamagwini, Leserihanya, Tobela, Ndaweshewe, Kwaziwai, Makadini, Muribwanji, Nangadev, Habarigani, and so on and stuff. Hi, family. Hellos. How are you doing? I was supposed to come on yesterday, but I couldn't make it. So there are things I want to update you on so you can see whether this check to come on yesterday, but I couldn't make it. So there are things I want to update you on so you can see whether this checks in with you. Sometimes we feel certain things in our bodies, we certain things in our mind, we feel certain things in our spirits, and we don't quite know what's going on. So I wanted to talk about something that's very important. It's very important for our existence here on this planet. And it's also very important to keep track of these things. So there is a what is called the some people say the Schuman, some people, it's actually the Schuman. So it's the Schuman Resonance. It's spelled S-C-U, no, S, you see what's going on? It's S-C-H-U-M-A-N, right? The Schuman Resonance. What is the Schuman Resonance? I'm sure you may even have come across some videos talking about this Schuman Resonance or Schumann frequency. The Schumann Resonance is a set of electromagnetic frequencies or energies that are in the Earth's atmosphere. What is the Earth's atmosphere? It's basically the space that's between the Earth and what we call the ionosphere. It is that space, and it also includes the Earth in there. There are certain frequencies that of late have been really, really bizarre. They are usually constant at a certain time. I'll give you an example. The Earth herself, her frequency is at 7.83 hertz. Right? So that time when we're telling you, go and stand outside, step on the ground to ground, we are trying to get your electromagnetic frequency, because remember, your body is made up of electromagnetic energy. You are an energy. So when I say electromagnetic energies or electromagnetic frequencies, this is where, for example, when we talk about Sekhmet is a deity, but it is an electromagnetic frequency too. So you yourself are an electromagnetic frequency, or you have this frequency within your body. Now, thanks to or no thanks to all the poisoning and the all the stuff that's in the atmosphere, poisoning of the water, corruption of our food, our frequency within our body is really not as it should be. And I'll speak and say this for the vast majority of us, if not all of us, right? So we do grounding to try to regulate our electromagnetic frequency to be as close to that of Earth as possible. That is how we maintain our health, right? That is why grounding is important. Now, we need to talk about this because currently the Schuman resonance is all over the place. The Earth herself, her frequency has shifted. I think it is just a sign of the times and what is going on all around us. Remember that for the last year or so, I have done videos where I've talked about the importance of grounding, the importance of sun gazing, the importance of making sure that you activate your melanin, that you activate your pineal gland and the 12 melanin centers in the pineal gland, right? I've talked about all these things in preparation for a time such as this. Because in this time, you can look at it from the scientific perspective, which is to say, what is going to happen to us as these frequencies are now changing? Well, what is going to happen to most of us, and I'm talking here to the Black family, the Black nation. I don't really want to go anywhere else. I'd rather stay home. What is going to happen to a lot of us on a cellular level is we're going to get DNA upgrades, we're going to get repair of DNA, we're going to get unlocking of DNA memory. So all things to do with DNA are being reshuffled and rearranged right now. The other thing that's going to happen to us in terms of your cognitive abilities will improve. They're not improving immediately because it feels like, ugh. That's why I said the last couple of days have been very hard for me, right? And I'll give you what some of the signs and symptoms are as we go through this, as your body adjusts and adapts, right? This is why I was always talking about trying to eat as clean as possible for a time such as this, because if your body is burdened by toxins, it's going to be more uncomfortable, right? Clearly, I'm burdened with toxins, and I'm sure the vast majority of us are. It's everywhere, guys. It's in the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink. Unless you just stop eating and just breathe, maybe then you can detox. But even if you breathe, you're still getting toxins in your body. Our bodies are very stressed out by the very environment that we live in. Now you bring along these huge electromagnetic shifts. And yeah, our bodies are just like, what is going on? It's almost like our bodies are kind of in a state of shock and a state of panic. So it's very important to understand what is going on in the ether, in the cosmos, in the atmosphere, basically, because we're all being affected, right? So as this frequency is changing, our bodies are having to adjust to these changes in frequency. Spiritually, what are the implications of this shift? We knew it was coming, right? 3D to 5D. And I always encourage, stay in the heart space, stay in love. Don't succumb to fear. Don't succumb to anxiety. Don't succumb to panic. Don't succumb to stress. So do you understand what is going on? Because if you look geopolitically, we're living in very stressful conditions right now. right? There's alligator Alcatraz that is breaking everybody's heart and really, really depressing a lot of people and making people feel sad. Don't succumb. I'm not saying we're not compassionate, but all these things are with design. How about the young men that are being found scattered all over the US, hanging from trees, right? Again, it's to bring us down. The pattern, family, the pattern of behavior is the same, which is where your power comes in to overcome. Nothing should surprise you anymore because there's nothing going on that we have not seen already at one point or another in history. So right now, in an attempt to reset for themselves, they are doing the same BS that they did over the years, and it worked. Our window of opportunity now is because we are awakened and because we are conscious, we already see what they're doing. All this peddling of all these weird wars, it's supposed to put us in that state of panic to distract us so that they do this reset of theirs, so that before we know it, we're living in another era where they are still the oppressor. Are you hearing me? So we can get out of this now. That's why I'm here today, because I was like, I'm going to drag myself into that chair where or whatever's happening, because people need to understand, so that we always need to come together as a family to encourage one another and to pull ourselves back into the reality. It's very easy to get taken out and to start running helter-skelter. Oh my God, what's happening? Look at what's happening. People are being told that very soon, even if you were born, say, in the US, it doesn't matter anymore. Arbitrarily, the government can decide you're a danger to this country and bye. And if you leave, you won't be allowed back. All those things are supposed to put us in a certain emotional state that produces loose energy for them, but that prevents us from ascending and elevating the way we should be. So mark the Schuman frequencies. These guys know this science of our ancestors way more than we do. So whenever they know that there's a certain planetary alignment, and right now there's a certain planetary alignment that hasn't been around, I think, since 1941. What was happening in 1941? Was it WW2 or WW1? I can't remember. It's one of those. So you see what they're setting up. They know that something major has to happen. And in order for that to happen, globally, they have to keep us in a state of panic and fear, going to bed with fear, waking up in the morning with fear and anxiety. You worry about your kids, you worry about your safety. You don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't know whether there'll be any money in the banks tomorrow, or whether the currency you're holding will have zero value. We are not involved in that. 9 ether beings, hear me well. You must call your energy back. If you need to switch off your TV and actually act like nothing is happening in the world, that is fine, as long as you focus on what's important. What's important for us right now is get grounded. The Earth's frequency has changed. Get yourself out there, take your shoes off, ground. Go into nature as much as is possible. Drink a lot of water. Drink hydrated water if possible, living water, i.e. from watermelons. But last I checked, there were videos of watermelons that were really, really acting strange, like watermelons suddenly just like, erupting like volcanoes. Watermelons left on counters, and the next day, watermelons left on counters, and the next day there's like a weird fluid coming out. All sorts of crazy stuff. But I'm not there. Coconut water. Get yourselves coconut water. Drink that stuff. Because you are electric. That electromagnetic thing in you. If you have no electrolytes, you're going to suffer headaches. I'm speaking as somebody who knows, because I have a crazy headache right now. Like, it's right at the base of my skull, and I've been fighting it all day. I have crazy headaches. Number 2, muscle twitches. Because I don't have enough electrolytes in my body, as this electromagnetic frequency is shifting, my body is feeling it, and my body is telling me you don't have enough electrolytes. So at night as I'm sleeping, I'm literally, my legs, my feet are twitching. I don't know if anyone who's ever had a magnesium deficiency knows that can happen. So you need to make sure you're take in those electrolytes. Wear your copper bracelets. Copper is very good for this kind of thing that's happening on right now. So use your copper jewelry as much as possible. What other tips can I give you? Pull your children towards you, because your children are also having these things happening within their bodies and they don't quite understand what it is. My teenagers have been sleeping until 2 or 3 in the afternoon for the last week. And all of them keep going, I'm so tired. One of them is like, it's just hard to breathe. It's like she says, I keep having to go, like I can't take in enough air. And I know what's going on as their mom. So I'm able to say, you know what? I know what'll help you. Come, let's do this. Let's eat a big old watermelon, or all of us will share watermelon. Sometimes I'll give them crystals of Himalayan pink salt. Put this under your tongue. You'll feel better. We're trying to do things with them, because the way I'm feeling this, my kids are going to be feeling it. They're feeling it less than us though, because they are less contaminated than us. And by contaminated, I also mean in terms of just physical contamination with the toxins. Some of us have lived more years on this planet, so they've been more years of this junk. But they are also in a better position DNA-wise and spiritually than many of us are. Especially if they have not experienced too much trauma. Those of us with a lot of trauma, yeah, you're going to feel a certain amount of dis-ease within your body, a certain amount of discomfort. I wanted to let you guys know that you're not going crazy. That is what it is. This is what's causing it. I wanted you also to start awakening to seeing the traps that they've set for us. You also to start awakening to seeing the traps that they've set for us. I keep saying traps because that's what they are. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the scaremongering. Remember what I always say. We function in this system, but we're not of it. And I've often said, Black Nation, you need to write this as a mantra somewhere and say it. Also, you need to be calling back your energy. Call your energy back morning, noon, and night. Call your energy back to yourself. Cancel everything. When you see them say this is now going to happen, this has now been announced, cancel it. We have the power. We're just not using it. And I know many in the spiritual community are very much into their own practice as a spiritualist. I'm seeking my path. Guys, we're all interconnected. Much as you're doing your inner healing, which I applaud, which is very important for the time that we're in and the time that we're going into, because there's coming a time where we all have to be ready to rebuild. Because this is falling apart. And everybody knows it. It doesn't even matter whether you're part of the Black Nation or not. Every single humanoid, alien, whatever's on this planet knows that this system, this setup is crumbling. It's in the spiritual realm, it's already done. It's now to manifest in the physical. And because they think that they are so powerful, because they think that they are all-knowing, that is why they're still scrambling to fix it. They are still scrambling to reset it. We have the power to push against that so that this thing that must crumble does crumble. And the sooner it all falls apart, the better. So that's why I say stop crying about currencies in the bank that may lose value. Because at the end of it all, that's going to mean nothing very soon. Stop crying about these artificial borders and boundaries that have been put there. Stop crying about how people will be locked out or locked in or whichever. At the end of the day, it's all going to amount to nothing. So it's literally it's a spiritual work. It's a spiritual exercise that you need to do with yourself. If you've not been doing what I've been suggesting, I suggest you get on it. Pull yourself to yourself, understanding that you're part of the internet of souls of the Black nation, and we're all interconnected, all of us. So if you fail to do your part, you are still affecting the rest of us. Guys, please tap the screen just to make sure that you guys are hearing me, because I don't know whether I'm frozen or not. If you can hear me, just tap the screen real quick. Tap, tap, tap. Right? We are connected to one another. Across this entire globe. We are interconnected, and we must never forget that. So you have a responsibility, whether you like it or not, to yourself, to your family, to your community, and to the Black nation as a whole. You have that responsibility to do your part. And please, those of you who are prone to fear, please find black obsidian. It is a very calming and it's a protective crystal. Find a nice big one. Put it on some copper and put it around your neck so that you can calm the hell down. We need you to calm down, because the more of you are in that state, you drag the rest of us down with you. I need, who's on board? Let me see by some flash of hearts. Who is on board here? Because I need to understand that, I'm not just talking into emptiness. Just tap that screen. Just show me that you're in on this. Commit. I'll be your accountability partner, because I'll ask every now and then, how's everybody doing? We've got to do this, family. Now, I wanted to also tell you guys about, especially the spiritualists. I'm talking about the high priestesses here. I'm talking about the priests. I'm talking about the elders. I'm talking about the healers, omakhosi, izangoma, abantu bakamoya. I'm talking to you who are asked, as spiritualists, as healers, you are to lead this dispensation by understanding certain things. Some of the rituals that we were taught, or some of the rituals we were doing, are no longer going to be effective. So we need to be cued into spirit in terms of the rituals that are jumping up and down and changing, because as the frequencies change, so does some of the activity of some of the herbs, perhaps, that we've been using. Do you understand what I mean? This is to our advantage, because some of the things that have been set in motion, or some of the things that were created in the 50s, such as viruses and stuff, that were supposed to be put out at a time like this to harm us, will not be effective. Remember how that other one was supposed to annihilate us? That one in 2020? Well, we're still here. It didn't. If anything, they were shocked, because it turned around and annihilated them. Remember what was happening in New York and in Italy and in all those places? Who were the main people who were going down with that? We lost a few, which was to be expected. But the vast majority of people who went down in that one were who? But really, it had not been designed for them. It was designed for Africa and Brazil. So what I'm trying to say to you is, understand too, if this will help you with your fear, that some of the things that they intend to put in motion, or have put in motion, that are supposed to harm us, are not going to harm us. And I want you to understand that you, sitting there watching me, you're an alchemist. You know, the all the stuff I've talked about, how the food system has been poisoned. Before you eat your food, speak over it. Speak over it and say, anything that is in this food that is supposed to harm my body, my mind, and my spirit, you just simply say, is now going to heal my body, my mind, and spirit. That's a declaration. And you say it and you say it and you know that it's going to happen and you eat that food. Unfortunately, this is where it's at. But we are alchemists. Our ancestors did not survive to have us and to keep us here today. Me having this conversation with you, just for us to, they were doing the most in terms of spiritual work in order to survive. That is all within us. This is the time to start tapping into that DNA memory and finding out what were the things that they were doing. Listen, you don't survive a transatlantic face and be here and have your descendants still here, still thriving, still functional, if you didn't know some about some. We need to tap into our power. And the only way we do that is if we divest our energy from the distractions. Divest your energy from this circus that they're creating out there. Just divest your energy. They're doing the most out there. And all that is to do is to distract you. Soon as you're distracted, they are setting in motion the things they should. We are not sleeping anymore. We are wide awake. Third eye blown open. We see it all. We see what they want to do. We see what they intend to do. All we need to do is access denied, make declarations against it, and with authority, because we have the power to stop it. You in your home, me in my home, this one in their home. If we are all in agreement that that is what we're going to be doing daily, that they will not find us, they will look for us and they will not find us. Simple. You know, there are stories I want to tell you. You know, when we hear about Harriet Tubman, and there are things about Harriet that nobody talks about. And I'm going to say it because I know what I know. Y'all honestly don't think that she was able to free that many people just like that, because do you remember that in her story, she had an accident where something happened and she was knocked out for a few days. And then when she came round, she wasn't the same person anymore. What do you think was happening right there? What I'm trying to tell you is each and every single one of us has immense power to do great things individually. But if we join forces, and we have to as a collective, it's game over. So let's not dwell on fear. Let's just understand what's happening, right? So now you know what the Schuman Resonance is. You know what the Earth's electromagnetic frequency is doing right now. She's shifted. I don't know whether she's done shifting or whether she's still going to be shifting some more. Just make sure that whatever she's doing, you're right on it. Go put those feet there. Go lie on that grass. Just stay there. Give yourselves 20 minutes of lying in the grass. There's soil underneath there. You're connecting with her. Right? Drink your water. Make your declarations daily. Don't skip a day. You're going to start to feel better. Both within your body, but also spiritually, you're going to start to feel stronger. When you feel stronger is when you see that your declarations do work. I've given you guys tasks to do in the past. So I said, do this and let's see what happens. I would like feedback. On the YouTubes, they give feedback. You can't feedback here. If you come on YouTube, you can feedback and tell me what's happening with certain things that I've told you guys to do. Because I want you to experience this power for yourself. There's no point me talking if you don't practicalize any of it. But when we decide that we're going to do X and we're going to make these kind of declarations, it's a beautiful thing, because when we see what's happened, I mean, I saw that there were spiritualists who, well, I think Alligator Alcatraz is underwater now, or it's close to being underwater. I kid you not, 3 days before that, I saw a couple of queens who are rainmakers. They put out a call and they said, we can do something. And I would not have believed it if, number one, they weren't rainmakers, and number two, I wouldn't have believed it if they hadn't put the call out. You know, it's one thing for someone to come on after something has happened and then tell you that, yep, I said that. I said that. But if there's no evidence of you having ever said anything, there's nothing. There was evidence that these two women came on. I remember very clearly. I saw it 2 days before it started raining. And the rain was a very strange rain because it was like a short downpour. And then, yeah. And so, again, for me, as a spiritualist and knowing how all this works, I know for a fact that them and others who may be working in silence did something. So do you see, we have the power. We don't need to be on the streets chanting, because that's another thing they want us to do. They keep saying things that incite us because they want us to crash out. They want us to go on the street. I'm telling you, that will be the perfect thing for them. They'll get their blood rituals done right there with us. Like, we will be sacrificed right there. The lush. Like, listen, we will feed that beast. We will feed that reptilian nature of theirs. So no, they're not getting any energy from us. No more loosh from us. None. If you need to call a friend when you start to feel bad, call a friend, but not to sit and wallow in fear and anxiety. If your friend is someone close by, call a friend and say, let's go for a walk in nature. That is more productive. Let's go sit by the river and sing. Let's go hug some trees. That is more productive than you sitting on the phone for 5 hours lamenting what is happening out there. You will drop our collective frequency, please. We see things that are happening in Kenya. Oh, the Kenyans. And who's leading what's happening in Kenya are the spiritualists. Because they discovered that under the parliament of the Kenyan parliament is a Freemason temple. And they're like, we are going there. So they're doing all manner of things to destroy that altar. And now we're hearing that there's a chapel that is going to be built in State House. I'm like, that altar was probably destroyed. Now they're going to try to erect another one. And the thing is, they think we don't know what they're up to, but we do know what they're up to. That's why it's good to just stay in the know of what's going on. When you hear that in Togo, they're on the streets, try to dig a bit deeper. You'll see that, no, this is spiritual. All of it right now is spiritual. Just find, what are they pushing? I found out through the Kenyans because I have some Kenyan people that I'm close to that are working this. And oh my God, these young people are just phenomenal. These young people are just phenomenal. Congo is the same. We're watching that too. Because remember, I always say Congo is the heart of the mother. You free Congo, you freed us all. So that is why they hold on to it like that. Everybody thinks it's about the minerals and the diamonds and the what. Sure, that for them is, we know they're greedy. We know they're plunderers and everything. But there's more. There is a lot more. The more I know and the more I find out and the more I'm allowed to share, I'll come and share with you guys. I always do. Sometimes I'm confined or I am sort of limited to what I can share. So like with the Kenyan one, that's about all I can tell you guys because they've already themselves gone on public platforms and said that much. But there's other things that I can't say because, again, sometimes we have to work in silence, some of us. Sometimes we have to work in silence. And even when something happens, it's like, okay. And we keep it moving. But I wanted to come and encourage you. I wanted to come and lift you up, particularly on this here in the United States. Some of us have already canceled this fake this fake independence nonsense is cancelled. We're going for ultimate liberation, true liberation. So there are fireworks outside right now. Boom, boom. It's all part of their ritual. We're not a part of it. I purposely did not wear any color that is on their emblem, on their that thing they wave around like this, that they're so proud of. I did not wear. I made sure of that. So not taking part in their rituals is also very important. Divesting our energy, our resources out of their rituals is also very important. That is how we are going to ensure that we push this forward and we get this done once and for all. Yeah. So I just wanted, just listening to you made some great points. We thank those who walk with me. I don't make great points because I'm particularly smart. I make great points maybe because that is what I'm hearing. There are those who walk with me who are far, far smarter than me, which is my ancestors, my spiritual entourage. And hearing, there are those who walk with me who are far, far smarter than me, which is my ancestors, my spiritual entourage. And as you can see, I'm fading. But I'm glad I was able to put this one out. One love, Black Nation. Always and into infinity. Masithokozeni.